And I'm just like, this is getting ridiculous. Like, there was a point where he was like, I really just want to talk to you one last time. And he'd like call me like
the desperation. Okay.
every day
for
like a little bit, and leave a message. And I'm just like, guys, like ultra cringing in the corner right now.
There was one guy who worked there. He was a white guy from England. And I was like, what's your name? And he was like, he told me, he's like, Naruto. Do you remember this guy? And then I was like what? And he was like, it's Naruto Uzumaki. And I was like, okay, like I don't understand. He was like, yeah, I changed my name legally in England or whatever to be Naruto Uzumaki. I was like, why would you do that? And he said something like, I don't even watch it. I've never even seen Naruto, is what he said. And I was like, then why would you change your name to Naruto Uzumaki?
Seriously?
Okay, drum roll, please. Okay, welcome back to Half and Half. Not Half X Half. It's actually Half and Half podcast with
That's
me,
right.
Max D. Capo, and Shizuka.
Shizuka!
She's back. You guys liked the first podcast, so now we have a better setup and we have our own channel now. If you haven't subscribed, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
You better do it now. Like, all right, I'm not going to do that whole
Subscribe and
thing.
you can listen to us talk.
She'll do it. She'll do it.
You can
for
like wash dishes and listen to us talk.
Yes, this
with
is the
my
best.
sultry mic.
Ooh, sultry voice.
That's right.
Yes, we have the good
That's
mics. This is going to be the best place for you to listen and learn about Japan. If you live here, if you want to live here, if you want to work here, if you want to just visit, we're going to be giving you all the deepest insights on Half and Half.
That's right.
We have Kojimochi on the cameras. He's producer, just like last time.
Yay!
Famed TikTok anime food person.
Hi, Kai, come in here.
Come
Say
in,
hello.
come in. We're gonna have him in on Shizuka's mic. How are you
Hi
feeling?
everyone, I'm feeling fantastic.
And so we're all half and half.
Amazing.
So now this doesn't work. It's 1.5.
Damn.
We're all half Japanese here.
No, Kai, you've screwed it up already.
You screwed it up.
Why do we even invite you?
So
Just kidding.
anyway, guys, today I'm going to just jump into it. We wanted to talk to you a little bit about our work experience in Japan as
Yes.
English Eikaiwa, English conversation school. I think a lot of people, this is like the entryway to get into work into Japan, to live in Japan. It's either
Definitely.
this or recruiting. So
That's absolutely right. There are two career paths in Japan.
It's very easy to get into if you're half Japanese or just kikoku shijo, like Japanese person who's lived abroad and came back. A lot of people, a lot of us did this during college.
Yes.
Because this is like the easiest way to get quick money.
Yeah, and it's definitely better pay than other baito or like part-time jobs. Like it'd be way better than working at a convenience store.
Yes.
So you can actually get paid like, well, to be honest, when I started out making like very little money, like 1,000 yen an hour, which is probably about the same. But that was like
Yeah,
my
that is cheap.
entryway, like
You
hire
didn't
me,
know.
like it was my discount price, and then I raised it to like $20 an hour, like 2,000 yen per hour, and then 3,000 yen per hour.
Uh-oh.
And
How high are we going?
And now it's a lot higher.
Wait. Let me ask. What was the highest you've ever gotten paid for
An hour?
An hour.
10,000 yen an hour?
10,000 yen.
Yeah.
$100 an hour for teaching or conversation?
One of them was private lesson teaching, and another is at a daycare. So like multiple kids.
Okay.
So yeah, like 10,000 yen an hour.
Okay.
Yeah, so now my standards are a lot higher.
Right. Well, I do.
Compared to like 10 years ago.
Kai's hearing this and he's like, "What the heck?" So we need to talk. I want to jump into that cost stuff, but we have to tell you that we're going to talk about the good
Yes,
of working at an Eikaiwa English school and the bad.
that's right.
And this is specifically English conversation school because there's a lot of people like Kai who was a JET ALT.
Right.
I think that's also pretty good money.
Yeah.
Do you want to put it on blast? Like, what was I don't know if you...
I mean, annually, in a year, what was it, like 30K a year?
Is that what it
And
was?
then I think it was in your second year, it would go up a little bit to like 33. and then it would just like keep climbing, little by little.
Okay. But there's
I
a
mean,
lot of
I
hours.
also- they
There's
cover your
100
rent.
hours. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So-
Depending on where you're located, they could cover your apartment cost and like,
Yeah. So, which is why it's a good entry. Well, English teaching is a good entry into Japan. However, if you're here for college, like we were, you're not going to be an ALT. You're going to be something like English conversation.
Yes. Yeah.
And there's a lot of good and bad. We worked at the same one.
Yeah, we both worked at the same. Wait, yeah. Should
say
we
the name.
reveal where
Should we
it
reveal?
was? I don't know if we should.
I don't know if we should.
I feel like we're not gonna reveal it today.
Okay, we will not reveal which one.
Yes.
But there's a lot in Japan.
Yeah.
It was a smaller one.
Yeah, it was a small
There's
one.
the big ones are like GABA. What is it? Help me out here.
Nova.
Nova is
ECC.
Nova. Oh my gosh, Nova has the worst track record of like having Yakuza. Like
Nova went bankrupt like at
Yeah,
some
yeah,
point.
they did.
And they almost
I would
disappeared.
say
I guess they came
if
back.
run away from Nova. If you don't go to Nova. I have a friend we have a friend Justin
yeah.
who's like the worst stuff keeps happening there.
Oh, no.
Some like school had like their computers all taken by like guys in black suits.
What?
Because
Who are the guys in black suits?
like obviously they're doing shady stuff and like all the management were just like oh
my
so
gosh.
yeah, clearly not the best place. So
That reminds me of another story at the place where we worked. We can go into that
boy.
later.
So, yeah.
But why don't we start out with the positives? So like, what were some good things about working in Eikaiwa or English conversation for you?
obviously the money was good for what you're doing. So to give you an idea of what this is, because a lot of people, it still doesn't really make sense or click.
Yeah.
People in Japan and other countries want to learn English, right?
Yeah.
So there's different ways. Obviously you can teach them like somebody writing on the board, English for an hour, or there's this thing called English Eikaiwa, which is English conversation, where you basically just talk, casual conversation.
Right.
You could choose topics, but it's really up to the whoever's there and what they want to do, which is where topics can go really weird.
Oh, do they go really weird sometimes for you?
So you're sitting at a conversation table. So that just means like a cafe setup. You can get coffee, you can get tea.
Yep.
There's one person, it was me or you or whoever, sits at a table and you just wait there you work for, let's say 4 hours, right? And Japanese people will come in and be like, oh, I want to, talk for an hour in English.
Yes.
And they pay, I don't know, like it's like 2,000 yen, 1,000 yen.
1,000 yen an hour. Actually, let me specify though. I think this situation is an Eikaiwa Cafe, which is a specific thing that I think that's like very unique to Japan, or maybe it started out in Tokyo. I'm not sure, but there are Eikaiwa schools and Eikaiwa cafes. So I think that's like a distinction point. Eikaiwa school, they'd pay like a monthly fee to like take a lesson, but the Eikaiwa cafes, like customers can come in freely. And the idea is that the space is like like you traveled abroad for like the time that you're in that area. Everybody speaks English. You sit at a table, chat with a person who's come from another country. And the interesting thing about the Eikaiwa cafes is that it's not always like a native English speaking host, which is cool because then you can speak to people who are not necessarily native but like learn stuff from about all over the world.
They had like French people where we worked, German. I mean, obviously everyone speaks English. Some of them have an accent, but it doesn't matter because they want to just have that atmosphere of the foreign atmosphere.
Yeah. People from all over the place. I met people from all over the world working at so we both worked at an English cafe. There were people from literally all over the world.
Looking back, it's kind of crazy. We were like, every time we go to work, like it was work, but you'd meet fun people like all around the world. We're still in the positives here.
Yeah,
we're
this
still
is
in the
super
pros.
positive. Like we it was super international.
You meet all sorts of people. Obviously, they're like some students, but then there's like graphic designers or dancers, actors, singers, talents. I mean, and then you meet other people who maybe can help you get a job somewhere else, like doing like a gig here or there.
Some people are like a good connection.
Yeah.
If they, I don't know, if you like get to know people, like some of the customers.
Yeah, you can get to know the
Yeah.
customers literally through these while getting paid.
Yeah, you can make friends.
yeah.
And like we did make friends with customers.
Did
Like
you?
I don't want right? Didn't
Did you?
Didn't you?
Did I make friends with customers?
Like
I don't
to a
think-
certain extent. I wouldn't say that
Like
I
get
don't
drinks after the table's over.
they're with my English students, because so here's the distinction point. There was the English cafe, which are just casual customers. They'll come in for an hour or two, and then there was another part which was an English school, because the particular place that we worked at, it had an English cafe and an English school. So I think you worked mostly in the cafe. I also started working in the school part, so I had like classes.
Yeah.
Regular classes with the same students every
I
time.
did have students at one point, but
Yeah, you did for a little bit. Yeah. But
obviously you make a
you
better
make,
relationship.
yeah, you make friends
your
with the students because you see them every week. So
Yeah.
there were definitely like times where we'd like go out celebrate a birthday or
I remember that.
Yeah.
Wow. It feels so long ago. Wow.
Right? No, it was
We
literally a
celebrated-
super long time ago.
Yeah.
It's like 10 years ago.
Yeah, oh my. But yeah, we would celebrate birthdays and like it was like a pretty tight knit, especially your classes.
My class was super tight knit.
Everyone, oh, that reminds me. Everyone wanted Shizuka's classes or Shizuka's tables, and people would be like trying to join the tables when Shizuka. They're like, because they had they had a teacher list. They had a teacher fan page.
So funny. Oh
I
my
forgot
God,
about
they did
this.
that at some point. Whoa.
And you repurposed your fan page for Leaf Cup just to be
wait,
like.
the Facebook fan
Yes.
pages. We all had to make.
We
Facebook
all had to
fan
make
pages.
a fan page as
Um,
per. Yeah, like no. So this is where what we're
our
gonna talk about
boss
next.
was trying a lot of things, so that lasted for not a very long time. But he tried the Facebook fan pages,
Yeah.
and then now I still use my Facebook fan page as like a public page.
Yeah, her public page now is originally it was the fan page.
Fan same with yours.
We
You
said the
still
name.
have
Oops, we said the name of the. I'll cut that. Bleep
wait,
it.
you said it. I didn't hear.
I did. It's okay. Bleep it. Yeah, and so I still have mine
Oof.
also repurposed.
Yeah, yours is the
But-
public page.
So
Max
that's but
Capo page.
we're still talking about positives, but this is where I don't know if this will go negative like the cons, but this is where it gets weird is when people start wanting to maybe go for a specific, usually girl teacher,
Yeah.
and like you'll get the same annoying customers who are like a little creepy.
Right.
And like
Yeah.
they're like they're there for the girl, and I don't know, like I can't remember all the stories. I remember there's a couple things for me, but nothing like huge. It
Yeah.
looks like something happened for you with these.
Yeah, this is bringing back
Tables.
some memories where,
You blacked out.
there were
these-
there were definitely people who would come specifically to like talk to me at the table, which was fine for the most part. They were not like creepy. I mean, creepy, like a lot of people would interpret different ways, but they're generally nice and well-meaning.
It makes sense to have people who are like, oh, I like this teacher because
Yeah.
maybe like she's talkative and has good conversation. So with that, like, yeah, maybe some people are like really trying to get to make sure that you're teaching. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
like going
for the
to a
most
gym
part.
and having like a teacher at the gym who teaches like very well
like
versus
a preferred coach or
Right.
something. Yeah.
But
a trainer.
So what are we getting into the bad section?
So no, I think it's nice to have a little bit of the balance there, because I think that does come with the con a little bit, because it does sometimes feel like it's starting to become like a maid cafe at times,
or a host club.
or a host club, yeah. Because there was a time where
we should say cabaret club. It's like a host club, hostess club. If you don't know in Japan, it's
Right.
like a cabaret club.
but is that even really a thing? Like cabaret club, I feel like there's like
It's hard to-
dancing, and I think it's a completely unique Japanese thing.
It is kind of unique.
So in
Japanese.
Japan, we'd call it a kyabakura.
Yeah.
So it's basically they've made cabaret into Japanese katakana, cabaret, kyabakura.
Yeah.
But there's no dancing. It's literally like a girl who dresses up in like a really fancy glittery dress normally, and then she'll just be paid to talk with men.
Yes.
Not necessarily men. I mean, anybody can come in there, but they pay good money to talk to these ladies.
Yes. We did talk about this in the pilot podcast, how we reached out to be. It's good money, you know.
Yes.
We were reached out to be hostess or hosts.
Some people can make
And-
extremely good money
Yeah.
doing that. And the thing is,
Eikaiwa is not that good. But
it's not that good.
But it's not bad.
But the concept is similar.
Yeah, the
English
concept's similar.
cafes,
We
you
were
pay
called,
to talk to somebody.
We were called chat hosts.
Yeah.
So, you know, yes. So anyway,
I didn't realize they meant it the Japanese way. I thought like it made sense in English, like you're the host of the conversation,
yeah.
like a TV show host.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know what
they meant
the
with it.
concept is, but looking back, like it's a good way to look. A lot of the Japanese people that do join it are very well intentioned, and they just want to learn English. They need to like brush up their English.
Yeah.
It's probably better to have a private student, like we were saying. You know, these are the ones where you make like 10,000 yen an hour.
Yes.
Not
Yeah.
at an Eikaiwa. Like Eikaiwa, we should clarify, it was like 1,000 yen an hour to
Yeah.
sit at a table for an hour
And just talk to people.
and talk to people. So you could have a lot of people joining. You could have like no people joining or one person.
You still get paid 1,000.
You still
yen an
get paid
hour.
1,000 and you just have to sit there for 4 hours a day or 3 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was
Yeah,
Not
that was a really fun baito. Like simply as like I think it's a very common. So baito means part-time job. It comes from like Arbeit in German.
yes. Okay.
But this is definitely predominantly university students who are working at these places. Like even now, I think it's all young university students.
attractive. It's like Abercrombie and Fitch like scouts. I don't even.
You don't have to be
Yeah.
attractive to work at them, just to clarify.
I just remembered like another thing. I'm not gonna go on this tangent, but do you remember at Sophia University, Abercrombie and Fitch scouts would come to our
Yes.
university to try to pick up like people who were attractive,
Young and attractive.
bilingual Japanese,
That's
half Japanese
right.
people to come work for them.
Yep. I remember that.
Funny story. God, I don't want to go on
Did
this
you
tangent.
Did you get an interview?
No, okay. One time I did, but the
Ooh.
first time I was out, like about to go, like party at a club.
Yeah.
And there's like 2 scouts that came up, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're Abercrombie scouts," and I was like, "Oh cool." Like, and then my friend was there,
Uh-huh.
and there's 3 of us. And they only went up to one guy, one of the friends, and they're like, "Oh yeah, would you like to work at Abercrombie?" type of thing.
Yeah.
And they gave their card, and like they left both me and the other guy alone. Like,
Oh, no.
And so we're like, "What the?
Whoa.
We're not good enough for Abercrombie."
Ouch.
And, like-
oh, that cut.
And like they're like, "We're gonna go to this club later," and so we actually bumped into them again at the club, and I was like, "Oh, you guys, you suck."
Awkward. Wait, so
I don't
can't
even
believe
wanna
they-
work at
I can't
Abercrombie,
believe
but
they
they-
were scouting at a club. Were they like off duty? They just happened to see
No, they were
talent.
on duty.
They were on duty at a club.
Abercrombie scouts. Do they still
Wow.
do this?
I don't know if they
Abercrombie
do.
and Fitch sucks. Okay. That's on record.
They're definitely they have some sketchy like I don't know policies.
Yeah. There's been a lot. I think a lot of people are familiar with those.
Yeah, but that's another Tokyo thing. I'm sure we can get more into that another
Yeah,
time.
but please.
back to Eikaiwa. There's I think another good thing about like working at an Eikaiwa when you're a student is like not only is the pay like decent for just being like having no experience. You don't need to have any teaching experience. You just go in and talk to people, but you gradually I think learn a little bit how you would teach like by
Yeah.
doing it. And also the hours are super flexible. So
Yes.
anybody who's going to school could go like just after school.
And you get paid under the table in cash in some places.
I mean,
not in every
to
place.
clarify, probably not always, but yeah, our place was
That
under
place
the
was
table.
a little bit sketch sometimes. Yeah. But
definitely a little bit sketch sometimes, but it was a really cool place.
yes, it was okay. Yes, it
For the
was.
most
For the
part.
most part, it was cool. I'm glad I did it. I think it also makes you good at speaking and conversation
Definitely.
because you have to literally guide us, make sure everyone is involved, included.
Yeah.
So these are all good things.
I would attribute my being able to like interview and also do public speaking
Why?
to the Eikaiwa school and cafe.
I actually might have to say the same.
Whoa, we gained some valuable skills
Yes,
working
valuable
at
skills.
Eikaiwa.
Specifically at Eikaiwa. Also, the last thing that was very cool, maybe there's more, but we had international parties
Yes, I was going to talk
every
about that.
Saturday for like a couple years.
Yes.
And it was
No, it was every second Saturday.
okay, every second
Yes.
Saturday, free alcohol for anyone who spoke English. You didn't even have to work for the you didn't even have to work like you didn't have to work for the company.
So we
Yes.
started inviting friends to the parties.
We were inviting friends.
Yeah, like Justin came. Justin didn't even work there. He just came to the parties.
You-
We'd pregame at this
you-
party.
If you worked for the company, you get paid 2,000 yen, which is about $20 to just hang out
At the party,
Your
yeah.
your duty is to like chat with the other
Yes.
guests and actually try to mingle.
Yes,
with
like-
because the Japanese people who are joining these international parties are paying about 4,000 yen, I think, right?
I think so. I think, to be honest, the price is different for men and women. I think it was like 2,000 yen for women
Okay,
or
okay.
something, and then 4,000 yen for guys.
Something like
But
that.
there's a reason. It's because generally there's a lack of women at these parties. So
because they don't. There's weird guys.
there's
that show
so
up.
unfortunately there about these parties. There are a lot of kind of creepy guys who come to these
They
parties.
only some of them only came to the parties.
Yeah. So like the chat tables at the Eikaiwa Cafe were chill. Like people were not too creepy, but the parties people get creepier. I don't know if it's because of the alcohol. Probably makes a
It's
big
alcohol
difference.
Saturday night. Like they're coming. I mean, like you.
And it is a party, so
Yeah, it's a
maybe
party.
they
They-
want to pick up girls.
they want to pick up guys. Like where else are you gonna meet a foreign?
Like guys pick up guys, or
I mean, guys. Yeah, guys. Everything.
maybe.
Every direction. Whatever direction. Guys
But okay,
picking up girls.
do you
girls
think
picking
some
up guys.
female customers were trying to pick up male teachers?
Yes.
Did it happen to you?
I had a situation.
Ooh,
I like
you
the
had
way
a
I said- I had a situation where I was teaching the student, and then eventually, like at the end, she was like, "So I like you, and I want to know if you'd like to date me." I was like,
Ooh.
"Oh!" It was literally the last lesson. So it was a lesson that I got through the chat host.
Okay.
Because just to clarify, this school also could give you private lessons.
Yes, you could do private lessons.
You get paid way less if you get a private student through
Yeah.
like the English conversation.
You only get paid like
cafe.
2,000 yen. I know.
2,000, 2,500, something
Yeah.
like that. Which you could also steal the students later and just.
But
don't.
that's a little bit
That's a little.
hush hush.
Yeah, hush, hush.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that.
Long story short, I had like 8 lessons commissioned, and at the very end, the last day, she shot her shot, and I was like,
Ooh.
did not expect it at all.
Oh.
And I was like, I don't see you that way. I was like quickly like saying like, oh, like no, that does no, I don't see you like that. I was
It's not you, it's me.
and I was like, thank you. I really I remember I was trying to speak quickly with my English to make up some, because it was so I didn't expect it. So
Oh, poor girl. Like, was she like around your age or like
I
older?
think so.
Okay.
I think she was.
Trying to get free English.
Yeah,
That's right.
She wanted the free English lessons.
Always, yeah, that's always how it is. They just want a
That's
permanent
happened-
teaper.
Yes, this has happened more than once, but.
Ooh, more than
Well, no,
once.
Oh.
Wow.
Like, I mean, okay, as in twice. Yeah, the other time, it was my own, like, so private students. Speaking of private students, we haven't clarified. There's different ways. You can even still get private students now through the internet.
Yes.
If you, the website
That's
is
right,
called.
We had a website.
Well, there was one called findstudents.com.
Net.
even worse.
It was a really like crappy website.
I don't
but
think
it was worked.
it was a crappy website that worked. It linked students looking for English teachers with English teachers looking for students.
That's right.
And you could set your rates whatever you wanted.
Make a profile.
Yeah, make a profile.
People reach out to you.
So, and then now there's one called, I think it's Hello Sensei or Native Sensei.
Yes.
if you look up Hello Sensei on Google, I'm pretty sure you'll find it. If you want to teach English privately, use Hello Sensei, and you can set your rate. 4,000 yen, 5,000 yen, whatever.
Right.
Whatever you are willing to do. And you can write your profile. But anyway, so I used the site findstudents.net, and I had a student like that where we met like once or twice. I think she was Korean, and she was just like really like close. As I was like
physically she was
very,
a
like
close talker.
very like, because we were sitting side by side as I was helping her with like work, and like very close.
The lean in.
Like, and I was like, okay. I was like, I'm here for the money. And she never contacted me after that. So
she caught feels.
it was 1 hour.
She caught the feelings.
Okay, enough about me.
I guess she read the vibe and she was like, I'm heartbroken. Max broke my heart.
Oh. Wait, okay, so
so sad.
Let's
so the thing is, though,
talk about yours.
This happens. That's also something I wanted to talk about. It's like Eikaiwa NANPA. So we talked about NANPA last time. NANPA is when you like pick up chicks, or like the other way around.
Pick up chicks at the Eikaiwa. Eikaiwa de NANPA shiose. Like that.
That kind of thing. But it happens a lot.
So it sounds so like ratchet.
It sounds very, what do you call that in Japanese?
Some people reciprocated.
Sometimes it worked out.
Yes.
There were cases where we worked where the couples actually got married. They
went that far?
met at our Eikaiwa. One specific case, it was a teacher and my student.
I remember this.
Yes, do you remember? But I was very, like, they were a great couple.
That was a wholesome story.
It was very wholesome.
Unlike a lot of other stories. You have a lot of wholesome.
So I think there were a lot of great things. I had a great time working at this Eikaiwa school and cafe. It was super fun. But I think the downside of this, as you mentioned, is there are a lot of opportunities to get NANPA'd by people. Like, you're just there.
It needs to be on a shirt. Get NANPA'd.
I use this as a verb all the time, so I don't know how to. I only write it as like NANPA *D because I don't know how else you'd write it.
Oh, put this on a shirt. Half and half merch. Get NANPA'd.
Get NANPA'd. Kai's nodding.
It. Yeah. Kai's nodding in the back.
Yep, NANPA'd. But like, there are a lot of just you're sitting at a table talking to people, and as a girl, and I think I started working there when I was like 19, so I was pretty young, and then early 20s. I think it was just very easy for like men to gather, and then very easy to get hit on or like be asked for your number, or like, and I'm just like, this is a place of work. It would be nice to have some boundaries. And at first I didn't know how to turn them down. Like, at first I was like actually just being nice and like letting people add me on Facebook. And that usually is not a good idea. I'm just going to tell everybody right now.
Facebook was too personal, yeah.
Don't add people you don't really know very well on Facebook. That's a rule for everybody.
Okay. Why? What specific things happened?
One time that was really a little too weird was one regular cafe customer. He was an older guy, like much older. He had like gray hair and not a lot of it.
Oh, that's such that's very nice way to put it. Not he's a very older guy.
I mean, talking to him, he was fine. He was really into music and stuff. And at the time I was really into singing, and he wanted me to like record music with him or something like at his house. And I was kind of like, oh, no, I'm fine, thanks. And then, but he was on my Facebook, and there was a time where I just once like did a club promotion thing. Like friend of mine worked for a club, and he was like, you can be like a club promoter. And like, I didn't realize how hard it was. Like, it's stressful
to be a club promoter.
Like, you have to like get a certain number of people or else
there's
like
a quota.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't want to do this ever again. I did that once. Very stressful. But I like posted on my Facebook, like, there's this party tonight. People come to the party so that I can like not like lose any money or whatever. But I did that, and then he came, that older guy from my Facebook. He came to the club party, which coincidentally was a masquerade party, so I was wearing a mask. But I did not ever in my wildest dreams expect to see him at the club. And like he came there specifically to see me, and he was like Shizuka. And then when I saw him, I just like I just didn't know what to say. I like almost panicked for a second. I was like, what are you? Like, I didn't even say anything. I was wearing a mask, and I just like pretended not to see him. And I feel really bad that I did that, because I do kind of regret it, because obviously he came there to see me, but I was just like, this is so weird, and like it really is kind of crossing the boundary.
Right.
I didn't expect that like a random student from this cafe was going to come to my club party.
And
so I was like, ooh,
much older gentleman.
much older, and I was like 20, so it was a really, I don't know, it was like I felt really uncomfortable.
That's very a little
very
awkward.
uncomfortable. So that was like the biggest boundary push, and I was like, well, that's why you don't add customers on Facebook. Like, don't do that.
Okay.
I learned my lesson at 20 years old. Yeah, that happened.
Okay, wow.
So this is the kind of thing that you do need to watch out for if you work at Eikaiwa's.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's not that's actually, that is uncomfortable. I feel like there's a lot of other terrible things that I've heard happen.
I think
I've heard stories.
Weirder things can happen, but that was just the most unexpected thing. And speaking of NANPA, I did get NANPA'd by a student. Oh, this was a student. So this was originally a cafe student, and then he reached out to me after the cafe chat. And I was gonna say cafe experience, but it's not an experience.
Weirder.
No,
Okay,
it's a cafe chat. And he asked me, he was actually a really cool dude. He was a younger guy.
Okay.
And he asked if I would be interested in teaching him like private lessons.
Okay.
And he'd lived abroad in the US when he was a kid, so his English was very good, but he wanted to like just keep it up and stuff. And he seemed like good vibes. Genuinely, I was not worried about like teaching him. So I was like, sure, I'd be happy to like do private lessons. So we did like private one-on-one cafe lessons, not at this cafe school, but like at random cafes.
Right.
And that was really fun for a while, until I guess he caught feelings, and then he eventually did the kokuhaku.
Ooh.
So kokuhaku is when you confess your feelings to somebody, and I was not expecting that to happen in this. Like, I did only see him as a student.
Right.
But I don't know, maybe it was because the age was not too different, but he was like a shakaijin and I was a student at university. Shakaijin meaning like a working adult.
Yeah, right.
And he caught the feels and he asked me out, and I think I said, sorry, I don't really feel the same way.
Did you make him cry on the spot, Shizuka?
I don't remember exactly how this happened, but I think possibly he might have written me an email. It might not have been in person. So I think he wrote me an email to tell me how he feels. I think that's what happened. But
an email.
Then
shooting his shot.
Right, by email. And I'm not sure how I responded, or maybe I took a little bit of time to respond to it because I didn't know what to say back. And then I think he kind of maybe regretted saying it, and then he like replied back. He's like, you know what? Forget that I said that. Like, it's cool kind of thing. And then I was actually in Canada at the time, so I wasn't anywhere like really in a situation to be like replying that much. But then something weird happened where I guess he just kind of kept emailing me. And he kind of just kept trying to like explain himself. And it was getting
digging his hole deeper.
It was getting weird.
Like Kai's like, oh no.
And then I think I came back to Japan or something, and he started like calling me because I hadn't replied, maybe because it had gotten a little bit too weird.
Okay.
And he started calling me and he started leaving messages.
Oh, the hole is getting dug
right
deep. Yeah, the cringe.
sweating.
I'm like, you gotta stop, bro.
So he kind of just started leaving messages, and
Did you save them? No, I'm just
so
kidding.
these are back in the garake days,
Oh, okay.
where like the Japanese flip phones.
Yeah.
And it just started getting too weird. And at this point, I was like, I don't think I can teach him anymore. Like, this is just way too weird.
You didn't meet him at all.
Yes,
like,
and
yeah.
he just kept, and he was like, please, like, I need to meet you and like talk about this. And I was like in the messages, and I'm just like, this is getting ridiculous. Like, there was a point where he was like, I really just want to talk to you one last time. And he'd like call me
the
like
desperation. Okay.
every day.
Every day?
For like a little bit. And leave a message. And I'm just like, guys, like ultra cringing in the corner right now.
I mean, so like the thing is, you gotta, this feels like it's not an uncommon story in the English teaching realm.
I'm pretty sure if you talk to another girl who's done Eikaiwa, I'm sure they would have a similar experience. But I'm very sorry to say that I just didn't end up getting back to him. But I think he finally recognized that he would not see me again at this point, and he stopped calling. And then I think he finally left like one last message, and he was like, okay, I'm gonna stop calling you now, and I just want to say like sorry for like, you know, I don't know, for everything, and that I like wish you good luck in the future or something. And I was like, okay, well, that's nice.
Okay, he redeemed himself.
But
so slightly.
like, wow.
Slightly.
But wow. Like, that was just a lot.
How long was he calling you?
I can't remember. This was a very, like, well, I was like probably 20, so it was like 10 years ago. But I'm gonna say it lasted a couple of weeks.
Okay. Ooh, every day for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
That would be kind of creepy. You see the call and you're like, oh, fuck, it's him again.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's him again. Every day.
Yeah. It was really weird. Like,
let it go.
You seriously, like, let it go. I think he either wanted to convince me at some point to like go out with him, or like he wanted to just like go back to lessons again, but I don't remember like which direction he was taking it. But finally he just let it go.
Yeah.
And I still sometimes like think about that. I'm just like, I mean, I hope he's doing well, because he was a nice guy. I think he just got a little bit intense at that moment. So no hard feelings if he ever watches this again, but it was a little much, just to let you know.
Okay. He probably learned on that last text, he was like, what am I doing? What?
Why am I doing this?
At least he stopped. It's okay.
I still think about it.
You left an impression.
Definitely an impression. Yeah. Did you have anything ever that intense before?
I was honestly trying to remember. Oh fuck, my
shoot.
phone.
Oh no, don't
it's
get
okay.
a green
We're okay.
line.
We're okay. I feel like I remember meeting a guy who was like, I'm gay. Through email later. Like,
was he your student?
Yeah, he was my student. He was.
Oh.
I can't exactly remember what situation, but it was kind of like a.
Ooh.
Like,
I'm gay for you.
Let me see if I can find this message.
Do you still have the message?
I
Go
might.
through the archives.
I'm just searching gay.
Because he said it. He definitely said the word. Ooh.
But you know, like that like I feel like it's just way less bad if like to another guy, it's like, oh yeah, I'm not gay, and it's like it's over, right? So well, no. Like,
I mean, they're not gonna pursue it if they know that you're not gay, right?
Right. So I just think it's like less like storyful.
Yes, it's fine. It's fine. You don't need to have a weird.
I don't feel
NANPA
weird
story.
about it. Like it doesn't really mean because I'm an English teacher. It literally could happen.
Could happen
in
anywhere.
Any situation.
That's right. Could happen at a club. Could happen at a bar.
Yes. Used to happen more, and I realized I was just too nice to people, so I had to stop to dudes.
Like how? Can you elaborate?
Like I don't know. Like just like being like, hey, like guy would like say hey at the weirdest one was it was at the bathroom and the guy was like talking to me next to me at the urinal, which this is like universal, man. Like don't talk,
Don't do that.
while you're peeing right next to each other.
Yeah.
Right? I'm looking at I don't know, like, do you have this rule?
I feel like Kai has a story.
Like to
Just to freak
mess
him
with
out.
though, yeah, right. But like anyway, he like some guy did that and I was like chatted him back up like kind of nicely because he was being nice. But really now, if that would happen now, I'd just be like, oh.
Wait,
yeah,
did
but-
this happen in America?
No, this was in Japan. But it was like,
Wait, so we went to LA once, and then didn't
this
something
happen?
like this happen in
LA?
LA at a bar that we
me?
went to you? I feel like we went to a bar with a friend, and then you went to the bathroom and you said that somebody hit on you in the bathroom.
Was this in LA?
That's what I remember.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, like, it's happened more than once in the bathroom.
Just an everyday thing, Max. So it doesn't matter.
Happens so often.
I just need to not give off the gay vibe, I guess.
I don't think you have a gay vibe. I mean, we'd have to talk to a gay friend
Well,
about that.
Were you
man,
wearing those jeans?
the tight jeans.
The tight jeans.
They're not that tight.
He was
These aren't
struggling-
even skinny
He was like
jeans.
struggling to like button them up
I
earlier.
swear these are size 30. They're not skinny jeans. They're literally just
Did you just like
They're
get
shrunken.
swole or something?
I don't know.
Is that a phrase
like,
that we still use?
Yeah,
I
we
don't know.
still use
Okay,
get
good.
swole. Yoked, ripped,
Caked up.
oh, caked up. Guys,
The
our
set is
our
falling
set
apart.
is falling
The
apart.
set is falling
Sorry.
apart. I think we have to try and like tape the top of it. Next
Shout
time.
out to One Piece, by the way.
One Piece. For those of you
This is
who
clearly my apartment.
for those of you who are just listening, Max's apartment is decked out in One Piece.
This is the only thing I care about.
So I feel like this is
Other than this podcast.
nothing to do with a half and half setup. It's just like Max's One Piece apartment setup.
Well, but we do have. See, Shizuka's side has non-One Piece stuff.
Okay.
You have
Oh,
JoJo on your side.
Nice.
And you have a
Very
Slowpoke
anime. And
Pokemon.
But this is One Piece. This can
Yeah,
go
that's
up in
in
the
the
middle
center.
here.
Anyway.
Anyway,
So-
yeah, I'd say that was those are definitely one of the cons of teaching Eikaiwa, unless you yourself are looking to find somebody. Then maybe you can
Yeah,
find
this might not
lovely
actually be a con.
lovely match, whether it's a student or another teacher.
I'm trying to remember anything else. I know other people who have other weird stories, like Justin. We maybe should have had him on one day. He has like the
We're
worst
gonna have him on one
stories.
day for sure. He has the
Justin is
best
my
stories.
friend from North Carolina. He lives in Tokyo now. He works at Nova. It's the worst. It's the worst. That's why the worst stories that come from there.
We're
like,
just name calling the company at this
like
point.
one guy was like he said one old guy always comes to him and says like he's like super racist towards Chinese people. So he's always like,
Ooh.
yeah, China is the worst country. Like me,
Oh my
China. He's like, yeah,
goodness.
China. He's always talking bad about China, and Justin's like, why are you telling me this?
Ooh, but is that private lessons at least?
No, he says it in the class. Like, so he teaches him in the classes.
Oh my goodness.
So he's always saying that's funny. And then this other guy, he said
Terrible.
the first thing he asked him was like, what kind of porn do you watch?
In the class?
That might have been in the class, but it was in the school. I can't remember if it was a class with other people.
That's a
But
highly
he was like,
inappropriate.
why do you think I want to answer this question? And then the last guy, I don't know if it was also a Nova student, but he told me there's this guy who's just talking about like, I love Filipino women. And he always like flies to the Philippines and he's like he's like telling him like they have the best prostitutes. And like Justin's just supposed to be teaching him English and he's like, yeah, so actually you can use words like prostitute, streetwalker. There's many. He's teaching him. He's like there's he doesn't like he
Justin.
showed me the notes one time that he was taking from the classes
So
and I was
funny.
like, this is hilarious, but
That's
I guess
amazing.
you're teaching him what he wants to know.
That's right. I mean, English is English, you know?
Yes, and
If they
he's
want to
getting
know
paid.
slang, swears, I suppose you can teach them.
Yeah. Anything goes, really.
Prostitution terms.
Prostitute. It was.
Ooh.
I need to see that notebook again. It was the funniest thing I've seen.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So that Anyway, is that a
Oh
bad?
my
Is that a
God.
pro? Is that a con? I don't
think
know.
it really, that's
It's-
up to you. Whether you, but
There's-
see, the good thing about it is that you can meet characters at Eikaiwa.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's
They're
always
characters.
a character who's going to come into your class you're never going to forget because they're just so unique. Or, you know, unique is a positive spin, but just downright strange sometimes. And those always make good stories.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's the good thing about it.
It makes life interesting. Join Eikaiwa if you want to make some money and have an interesting story to tell, just like today on this podcast.
Absolutely. You'll have stuff. I have more stories. So
Oh, boy.
I'm sure that like if we'll have a friend on at some point who used to work with us too, we can talk more about some of those stories next time. So you
Yes.
guys should look forward to that. But I think I feel like there's another good thing that we can say about it. No?
Well, we can wrap it up with saying, long story short, Eikaiwa, on average, maybe at a chat table, you can make 1,000 yen an hour for no skills, just speak English, get a job here, you should do a good job. Fudge, I just remembered a great story.
I want to hear the story.
But okay,
Okay.
money wise, 1,000 yen an hour. If you teach, maybe 2,500 yen an
Yeah.
hour at these schools. Get a private student if you can, or private lessons on the
money's a
internet
little bit better.
by yourself. You can set the rate.
Yeah.
That's the best way.
Granted, the money is not amazing if you're an adult, but if you're like a university student, this
Highly
is a
recommend it,
fine
yes.
wage for a part-time
Just
job.
don't do Nova.
Don't go to Nova. Like
There-
just
I don't
yeah.
know the good ones. I don't know what's good now, but there's many small ones.
Don't go to Nova.
Don't go to Nova. But you know, this is a great way especially if you're a college student. It's kind of hard to get students. I won't lie. I mean, it's not terribly hard if online to get private students if
Yeah.
you're a student, but you know, you just need to. This is good because you can get like 4 hours straight talking, 4,000 yen.
Yes. Yeah.
No real prep. Just do it. So
Also, international parties, you get paid to drink alcohol and
Yes.
talk to people, which is
that's what we
very
did.
fun.
We would drink alcohol, invite our friends,
Yep.
talk for a few hours, then go out clubbing or
Exactly.
partying. That was our pregame. It was our pregame
Exactly.
was to go to these international parties at the Eikaiwa school.
Especially because the
And
time
it was fine.
just right.
Yeah, it was like 8 to
It was like 7:30 to 10:30. 7:30 to 10.
Yeah. And we would stay we were providing probably the most like enjoyment because we would go all the time.
Yes.
And like teach, we would actually mingle, and then after, you know, we would clean up, and afterwards you're done, and now you pre-gamed, and then you just go out
You just go out after.
and spend all your money that you just made that
that you
night.
just made.
That you
Yeah.
ju-
I was
Good
talking
times, good
to an
times.
old friend who we worked with. And she was just saying, like, I don't know how we we were out all the time. Like,
It
I don't
was
know how
all
we
the
afforded
time.
to do that because it's not cheap. But I think basically what we were doing was like, we would drink at the party so we didn't have to pay for drinking. And then we'd use the money that we made to go out.
Yeah. I know these international parties were so good. They're so fun. Kokusai Goryu party.
Exactly. It
International-
was super worth it
yeah.
for us, at least.
Okay. You know, we gotta probably wrap this podcast up, but
Probably.
I really, you were talking about weird teacher. Like I forgot the name. You don't know of his name, but
I think that's gonna be a whole story, so that's gonna have to be for a
Okay,
tale
okay.
for another time.
I just really wanted to give a quick. I don't even know if I call this a shout out. There was one guy who worked there. He was a white guy from England, and I was like, "What's your name?" You know, I didn't know him, man.
I
And
was
he was
like,
like,
"What's your name?"
and he was like, he told me, he's like Naruto. Do you remember this guy? And then I was like, like what? And he was like, it's Naruto Uzumaki. And I was like, okay, like I don't understand. That's literally that's the anime. That's literally word for word the anime. And he was like, yeah, I changed my name legally in England or whatever to be Naruto Uzumaki. I was like, why would you do that? And he said something like, I don't even watch it. I've never even seen Naruto, is what he said. And I was like, well, then why would you change your name to Naruto Uzumaki?
Seriously, why?
And the only thing I can't remember if he said it or if I just assumed it, but I was thinking either he said it or this is just my bad memory.
Yeah.
It was because like he would tell a girl would ask him, "What's your name?" He'd be like Naruto, and then like it's just like the best opener to be like, "I'm Uzumaki
my
Naruto."
God.
Not even a good opener, but it's just like, so Uzumaki Naruto nano mitaina. Like, oh,
you can
it's your
catch him in
Uzumaki
that
Naruto.
first moment.
And I was just like, that's like the dumbest reason to change your name legally to an anime character
Oh my
that you don't even
God.
watch. I love One Piece. I'm not gonna change my name to Monkey D. Luffy. Max D. Luffy, Monkey D. Capo. I got like
Oh my
Rorona Capo. Like, what is this? So
That's the next
wait,
level.
so you met this guy too?
I
You know,
might
I'm not
have met
making
him
this up.
briefly, but I know of him because he was very well known within the cafe to have been a weird guy who changed his name to Naruto.
That was the only thing I remember. He was just weird because, yeah, why would you do that?
Why
number
would you
one,
do that?
but
And also, if
he,
that was the reason, that's super creepy.
it was like a proud, like, oh yeah, I did it, and I don't watch the show. I'm like, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. I was like,
Literally.
I was like, get the fuck out of here. Like in my mind, like I was just like, I'm not gonna be friends with this dude. There's
yeah.
no way.
And to be honest, I don't think he stayed there for that long because I think everybody recognized that it was a little too weird.
It was weird. The
And
thing
I
is,
think he
like,
was
just
picking up students.
yes,
probably.
I think so. Just to give you an image of the guy, he didn't look weird. He actually looked like he worked out, kind of like gym dude. He looked like a gym bro.
This makes
a
it
little bit.
worse.
And,
Because
like,
he
blonde
changed
hair,
his name to
gym
pick
bro.
up Japanese
like
girls.
he wasn't like a weeb. He looked just like a gym bro who was Naruto Uzumaki.
Oh, that's so stupid.
Was he? Did he try to pick you up or anything?
Not me. I didn't really have a chance to talk to him ever. I just knew he worked there.
Hilarious story.
Oh my gosh.
But-
That's super cringy. And I feel like that's a topic we can get into another time as well. Dudes who come to Japan specifically to pick up Japanese girls.
Ooh, yes, more topics.
More topics.
Guys, yes, but thank you for tuning in to Half and Half podcast number. This is actually episode 1 technically, because this is the last one that we did was a pilot episode.
So it's episode 0.
So this is, yes, that was episode 0. This is episode 1. Let us know if you want us to talk about certain topics or give insight. We will definitely do it. We will also probably be trying to have guests on eventually.
Yes.
When this format is a little bit more solidified. But we hope you enjoyed this. Let us know. I had some people asking like, hey, can you put the podcast on this platform or this platform? So if it's not available on the platform you prefer, let me know in the comments and I'll be able to put it up there.
Very accommodating.
Oh, yeah. I am the accommodator.
Max is the best. Yes.
Arigato.
Yes.
You're boosting my ego.
Maxu-sama.
I gotta leave my ego at the door. Stop it. Like, yeah, she's too nice. Okay. Is
Yeah.
anything else you want to say?
No, I think that covers just about everything. I think that's that's what it's like to teach English in Japan as a university student with no experience.
Yes.
There's a little bit of the good, which can be really fun, and a little bit of the bad, which can be a little bit creepy. So,
Yes.
yeah, take it with a grain of salt if you're going to come
Yes.
here to teach English.
We could probably go on this topic way more, especially if we have some of our friends on.
Yes.
It can get pretty wild.
And we will.
Thank you so much for watching this podcast. This has been another episode on the Half
And half.
Podcast.
That was, you said podcast twice. Let me do it.
I'm just gonna let her do it. The outro. Wow. I can't.
Okay.
All right.
Intro.
I'm at my limits now.
Outro. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. We'll see you guys next time on the Half
And Half.
Podcast. Bye.
So much better. He's so much better than me.